This is Craig again, and I always looked at these catalogs and it's like always out of reach. These 763s, never saw them for like 20, 30 years, and see some now. But anyhow, the catalog says New York Central, but they never made these. Like so many catalogs, they came out saying Lionel lines. And so when they remade the Hudson in the 84, on the 50th anniversary, they put this on the tender. So I used this shell, kept, didn't change the paint, painted a gray 785 one black, and stamped it Lionel lines, so to go with the other engine. So those are your options. But when I put these pins back in, I bought stanchion pins with nuts, and took, they had clothespin type on the new ones that when you take them out, sometimes they break. So this paint was original, and it's really close. And this paint is basically the cheapest flat black Home Depot. It used to say color. I can't think of it. It was in a gray can. It was 99 cents. Well, now they got the cheapest paints. It says HDX on it, and it's $2.50. I haven't tried the flat. Still have cans of this. So when I redo an engine because it's too ugly, I spray it. And if the sheen isn't quite right, you get some Testors dull coat and clear coat, and you can adjust the sheen. The dull comes out flat, but so if you mix it in some sort of ratios, you can achieve the sheen that you want somewhere between gloss and flat. Now, this was the first 226 I got. I was trying to buy one so I could buy Blue Comet cars like my dad had and sold in 1956 when we moved to Florida. He had a mint set in the box, but I didn't realize until later that what the X means. It means it's the slow coupler that went with these Madison cars and these semi-scale cars, which they also put scale couplers on. They put high, longer couplers on. And so those are all your options. But, we're recreating this. And what I would tell you, these have cotter pins. That's how you know. But it's so cold I can't get out there and paint. But I plan to show you how this is done. But I've never done this. But I'm planning on grinding these off and drilling and putting these kind of stanchions on this engine, which means you got to have 8 of them. So they're going to be spaced like this. And that's in the future when the painting is allowed, the warmth gets. But this showed you how good this smokes with a pill unit. You saw the firebox light. And I don't know. I did 12 of these. I did 2 that were the magnet traction type, and I did them just to get that tender. And I'm done with that. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it and you see how you can do one. And like I said, these 785s, the gearbox, the grease in those bearings, sometimes it's frozen, and you gotta free it up with carburetor cleaner, PB blaster, something that dissolves the grease. But don't force the worm gear and shaft. It's basically you take it out and you spray it and you get it loose, and there's even thrust bearings that you gotta clean up and relubricate. But this thing, I think, is the best of both worlds. I mean, it turns on tighter radius because of this articulated truck. I mean, you can pay a lot of money for our original, but a lot of the castings have gone bad. Who knows if these will go bad in the future. I've seen pock marks on new stuff. But, and the other thing is, we even, on this one, and it's a pain to hook this drawbar pin up, but I drilled the hole from the bottom up so you can put the pin. You drill a little hole here so you can hook the chain for the pin. And it makes it more authentic. But it's easier to use the tab and slot coupler right off the original engine, you know, because it just hooks in. It's easy. So it's all your preference. You can do it any way you want. It's your train. And see, this is the correct length drawbar for hooking this tender, this style, you know, semi-scale tender to this engine. And anyway, when I was running all those trains, I just wanted to see how many it would pull. It was pulling 10 cars on these little four-wheel trucks because they have thin axles, there's less friction. I didn't oil any of them. They had all been tumbled and we just did it. But the extra cars, some were a metal flat car. The log car was actually a wood kit. And I just put the same trucks, you know, off all those cheap cars they made back in the day for Lionel. And that cattle car, I don't know who made it, but it's cast aluminum. And okay, so I was just having some fun, and I just want you to do the same. Just use your imagination, do what you like, and it's one other thing I'll tell you is, you see the metal shiny parts? These were real shiny on this. And I hit them with dull coat too. And they, you know, they just look more authentic. But if you're you want that scale look, you hit them flat, you know, you hit them flatter than this even. And I hope you enjoyed this. And the cars, all those Madison cars, there were 3 sets bought from 2 different vendors, and they, I had to make those. That's why I did the video showing you how to make the coupler. And the other set, somebody had put those post-war trucks, the Madison 6 wheels. They screwed up the bottoms, and I remade one. And I made some others, and we didn't put that on the video, but see, that's where the articulated coupler goes in this slot right here. The trucks go in these holes, and the lights. But, you know, this thing would get cleaned up and painted flat black, and it's ready to go if I end up with another screwed up car one day and I have more trucks to put under it. But you know how that goes. People are getting a little, you know, what I would tell you is go with the post-war, and you can use all those die-cast, those quad hoppers. They were made by K-Line, Mike's Train House, Lionel, with all the post-war couplers. And, you know, you don't have to chase all these hard-to-find trucks. I mean, on a good day, you can find those die-cast quad hoppers from 20 to 35 bucks. And I ran, the quad hopper is the only one I actually have that's Lionel. The box car's authentic, the tank car's authentic, the caboose. And anyhow, I made a few sets of them, and I'm done with that now. So the next project I'm probably share with you is I got a brass tender shell, and the tender is as long as this engine, and it says New York Central. and we're going to figure out how to truck it, whether post-war, pre-war, how many wheels to put under it, because it was a long, heavy tender. And thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and you can email me. It's my email's on the site, and we're a dwindling number of us that really like this stuff. It's this old stuff, so enjoy it while we can. Thank you. Good night.